45. I offer a few examples of the sort of thing these petty people have got into their heads, what they have put into the mouth of the Master, the unalloyed creed of beautiful souls. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear you, when you depart thence, shake off the dust under your feet for a testimony against them. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Mark 6:11. How evangelical. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck, and he were cast into the sea. Mark 9:42. How evangelical. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God with one eye, than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire, where the worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. Mark 9:47-48. It is not exactly the eye that is meant. Verily I say unto you, that there be some of them that stand here which shall not taste of death till they have seen the kingdom of God come with power. Well lied, lion. Whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For, note of a psychologist, Christian morality is refuted by its fors. Its reasons are against it. This makes it Christian. Mark 8:34. Judge not, that ye be not judged. With what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. Matthew 7:1-2. What a notion of justice, of a just judge. For if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Matthew 5:46-47. Principle of Christian love. It insists on being well paid in the end. But if ye forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. Matthew 6:15. Very compromising for the said Father. But seek ye first the kingdom of God, and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Matthew 6:33. All these things, namely food, clothing, all the necessities of a life. An error, to put it mildly. A bit before this, God appears as a tailor, at least in certain cases. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. Luke 6:23. Impudent rabble! It compares itself to the prophets. Know ye not that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple you are. Paul, 1 Corinthians 3:16-17. For that sort of thing one cannot have enough contempt. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Paul, 1 Corinthians 6:2. Unfortunately not merely the speech of a lunatic. This frightful impostor then proceeds, Know ye not that you shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? Hath not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? For after that, in the wisdom of God, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased God by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. Not many wise men after the flesh, not men mighty, not many noble are called. But God hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And God hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. And base things of the world, and things which are despised hath God chosen. Yea, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence. Paul, 1 Corinthians 1:20-29. In order to understand this passage, a first-rate example of the psychology underlying every Chandala morality, one should read the first part of my Genealogy of Morals. There, for the first time, the antagonism between a noble morality and a morality born of resentment and impotent vengefulness is exhibited. Paul was the greatest of all apostles of revenge. 46. What follows then? that one had better put on gloves before reading the New Testament. The presence of so much filth makes it very advisable. One would as little choose early Christians for companions as Polish Jews. Not that one need seek out an objection to them. Neither has a pleasant smell. I have searched the New Testament in vain for a single sympathetic touch. Nothing is there that is free, kindly, open-hearted, or upright. In it humanity does not even make the first step upward. The instinct for cleanliness is lacking. Only evil instincts are there, and there is not even the courage of these evil instincts. It is all cowardice. It is all a shutting of the eyes, a self-deception. Every other book becomes clean once one has read the New Testament. For example, after reading Paul, I took up with delight that most charming and wanton of scoffers, Petronius, of whom one may say what Domenico Boccaccio wrote of Caesar Borgia to the Duke of Parma: et tutto festo, immortally healthy, immortally cheerful and sound. These petty bigots make a capital miscalculation. Whoever is attacked by an early Christian is surely not befouled. On the contrary, it is an honor to have an early Christian as an opponent. One cannot read the New Testament without acquired admiration for whatever it abuses, not to speak of the wisdom of this world, which an impudent windbag tries to dispose of by the foolishness of preaching. Even the scribes and Pharisees are benefited by such opposition. They must certainly have been worth something to have been hated in such an indecent manner. Hypocrisy, as if this were a charge that the early Christians dared to make. After all, they were the privileged, and that was enough. The hatred of the Chandala needed no other excuse. The early Christian, and also, I fear, the last Christian, whom I may perhaps live to see, is a rebel against all privilege by profound instinct. He lives and makes war forever for equal rights. Strictly speaking, he has no alternative. When a man proposes to represent in his own person the chosen of God, or to be a temple of God, or a judge of the angels, then every other criterion, whether based upon honesty, upon intellect, upon manliness and pride, or upon beauty and freedom of the heart, becomes simply worldly, evil in itself. Moral: every word that comes from the lips of an early Christian is a lie, and his every act is instinctively dishonest. All his values, all his aims are noxious. But whoever he hates, whatever he hates, has real value. The Christian, and particularly the Christian priest, is thus a criterion of values. Must I add that in the whole New Testament there appears but a solitary figure worthy of honor? Pilate, the Roman viceroy. To regard a Jewish imbroglio seriously, that was quite beyond him. One Jew more or less, what did it matter? The noble scorn of a Roman, before whom the word truth was shamelessly mishandled, enriched the New Testament with the only saying that has any value, and that is at once its criticism and its destruction. What is truth?